How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to another video here on our channel. I am the FIFA Analyst, and today I want to be talking to you about defending in FIFA 20 post-patch. I've been getting comments after comments after comments saying, how do you defend post-patch? I don't understand it. So we're going to go through and we're going to show you guys exactly how you can do that, how you can stop conceding goals, which hopefully results in more wins in the weekend league. Hope you are doing very well. Thank you for tuning into the video. If you do enjoy the video as normal, please do let me know by dropping a like, and you can also subscribe to the channel. We do upload every single day at 5 PM. Let me know if you've got any suggestions for future videos down in the comment section. We do stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so a link in the description for that if you are interested. But what we're going to do is go through, dissect the gameplay, show you exactly how you guys can defend and what you can be doing. So when it comes into this situation here, one of the things that a lot of you guys will do is you'll go and dive forward with Militao, which means that you're going to leave the space in behind. So don't do that, essentially. What is it that you can actually do to make yourself strong here? You do drop back into that little space, move Militao for a second or so, moving back into that space that the normal 1-2 would kind of be given away. As you can see, we do that there with Militao. Optional is then to switch to the long lay and then put the pressure on the ball holder. A lot of people can stay with the Militao here if you wanted to carry on tracking that run. We choose to switch to the other defender though and put the pressure on the ball holder and win the ball back. One of the things that I like to do is try and be very patient in defence, but then as soon as I get an opportunity to go and get the ball, if they make an extra touch, if they do a skill move, whatever it is, when I know what's coming, that's when I dive in to try and get that tackling and to win the ball back from that. You have got to be passive aggressive when it comes to defending, to be honest with you. You don't want to be too passive, but you don't want to be too aggressive. A lot of you guys, when I look at your videos for the coaching that we do, you tend to dive in here with your wingers. You try and dive in, you try and win the ball back when there's no real need for you to go and dive in here. You can be a little bit more patient. What you want to be doing is just going, look at that space that this guy's got to run into. I am going to go and track that and make sure I do it. So that's what we do with Semedo. We move him over. We make sure that if you're going to play that pass down the wing, we have got the cover there. We don't go and dive in. We don't go and give him that space to get down to there. Now, it comes to a bit of a key point here as well. We switch to the long lay. We track that runner. Absolutely crucial. Now that runner's not an option for him to pass to, so then he switches it over. Obviously, he still manages to find the little pass into the middle, but luckily enough, we know he's going to play the next pass into De Bruyne, step in, make sure we switch very quickly, very efficiently, and win the ball back like that. One of the things that I want you guys to keep an eye on to is any runners that get played from the middle that are going to start making a run onto your back line. You need to switch to your centre mid and you need to track it yourself. The AI aren't strong enough to track runners in the middle of the park. That is your job to do it, your duty. You need to make sure that you are doing that as well. It's so crucial to making sure that you're not giving up any space. You're not having the players run onto your defence, because that's when it's very difficult for you to defend. Now you can just see here, he's moving the ball around very well with Hullet, Eusebio, and we're just kind of marshalling him, kind of just making sure we've got that little bit of room, that little bit of space to go through and put the pressure on. What was the key thing here for us? So we just keep trying to cover all the tracking runs, cover all the options as best as we can. Obviously, it is difficult to cover every single run. We get the ball back with Sissoko, but unfortunately lose it straight away. Now, Sissoko is covering that Eusebio run. The pass into De Bruyne isn't on because De Jong is standing in that passing lane. So what can we do? We don't go and drop off here and try and cover that De Bruyne inside the box. We do go and put pressure on the ball holder. The reason for this, guys, is that you've covered the passing lane. That pass isn't on. That means that he's going to take a touch. He doesn't actually have a pass on. He's got to dribble. He's got to do something to try and beat you. Go and put the pressure on the ball holder. You find a lot of the people there, what they do is they back off, they sit in front of that man in the box, and then they give Hullet the free run to come forward, make another pass, find another little bit of space. Whatever it is that he wants to do, he will find that extra bit of room because you've backed off. You've not put pressure on him there. So in this situation here, we do go 1-0 down. I make a little bit of a mistake, so I'm just going to show you what sort of mistake I made. Look with Sissoko. I'll go and cover the wrong run. I think he's going to play the pass into De Bruyne. But the key pass there is a pass into Eusebio. I then have to keep an eye on the De Bruyne run that's coming in onto the defensive line. But as soon as you see that drag back animation, that's where you've got to go in and step in, know exactly that if he's doing the drag back, more than likely he's going to come back the other way, and then we need to defend that. Unfortunately, don't come out with the ball. I don't stick too tight to him with my Mendy from left back, and De Bruyne smashes that one at the near post. So now we're just going to run through a load of clips of defending just so you can see how I defend in real time. I want you to keep an eye on my player switching, how calm we are in defence, and just as a whole, what sort of runners we are tracking while I go and talk to you about what defending is different when it comes to post-patch. Now, post-patch is so difficult because finishing is so strong. People are saying keepers have had a nerf. They haven't. It's just that finishing is just so strong inside the box. So one of the things that I want you guys to take into account and make your priority is you can't really let the ball get into your box. So you know how a lot of the times you cover with your centre mids and you drop back and you chill. You know, you're not too aggressive in defence. You're happy for them to play the ball. You're playing a bit of drop back. You're playing a bit of part of the bus, whatever it is that you're doing. And you can do that. However, what I find is that here you need to make sure that you are always doing your best to stop the ball getting into your 18-yard box. The reason for this is because all they need is one little bit of space, one little bit of room to just put the ball in the back of the net or to get a shot off, and obviously that's going to cause a lot of issues. That's one thing that I found this weekend. So for my first 20 games in Weekend League, defensively, I was really solid. When I came on the Sunday night, I was pretty woeful, to be honest. And one of the reasons was that I was rushing in defence. I was rushing in defence, and what that meant is that you had space in behind to get inside the box, and that's where I was getting punished massively. You've got to make sure that your player switching is on point. We will have a tutorial coming on how to player switch with the right stick and with your L1 or LB bumper button as well, because both of them are so crucial when it comes to defending. So yeah, just try and make sure that you aren't giving them the space inside the box, not letting it giving it up cheaply or anything like that. And a lot of you guys have also said, how do you stop giving up gaps in your defense? So as a whole, you don't really have to touch your backline too much in this FIFA. A lot of people do is they marshal their centre defensive mids, their centre mids. They use them to cover the centre. The centre is the heart of football. If they can pass the ball around on the centre, on the edge of your box, that's where they're going to look to exploit. Not that many people in FIFA 20 go down the wings that often, for the reason that crossing is so poor, but also they have their fullbacks on stay back. They don't really have too much on going through. They don't look for the cutbacks or anything like that. So in a whole, you don't really need to defend the wing too much. Obviously, if you come up against someone that is using it, defend it. But the middle is where the key area is for you to defend. You just need to make sure that you are using those centre defensive mids to marshal that middle area, and only switch to your centre backs as a last necessity, essentially. So if they've beaten your centre defensive mids and they're coming onto your defenders, don't run back with your centre defensive mid because he's not putting any pressure on. That's where you then need to manually defend, in my opinion, and that's where you need to try and win the ball back directly from doing so. Just like here, moving up, just staying calm with Rio Ferdinand, standing up to him. You know it's Alan versus Ferdinand. Ferdinand's going to win that race pretty much all day, every day. Just think about it, guys. I mean, defending, it is like an art. So the more patient you are and the more you logically think about what the opponent is going to do, you will just stop conceding as many goals from it. What I find is that you guys are so eager to get the ball back that you rush in, you dive in, you press that dreaded thing called a tackle button when you have no chance of winning the ball. Only press tackle when you are like 95% sure that you're going to win that ball, in my opinion. You can't just go and press tackle, because it doesn't work. You know, you've got to think about your actual tackling. As I said, with the coaching videos that I do notice that a lot of you guys, you want the ball back all the time, which I understand. It's football, it's FIFA. You want to make sure that you're giving it a good game and you can get the ball directly from doing so. But you just need to be so much calmer in defence. Like the calmer you are, the less you concede. The more you drag players out of position, the more eager you are to get the ball back. You're just going to have gaps in your defence pretty much all day, every day when it comes to that. So do just try and be calmer for me if you can. Have a look at my how to defend in around the box with L2 jockey and R2 sprint. That will really help you as well. Obviously, we've already touched on that, so I haven't touched on it too much inside this video just because we've already done a video on it, so you can check that out. And the same thing still applies when it comes to post-patch on that front. There's no difference there. All the difference is with the post-patch is that you just don't let anyone get in your box. So you put the pressure on them before they even get there. and you don't give the ball away cheaply like I have done with Ferdinand there. So, but yeah, I mean, defending, it is a little bit difficult on this patch, as I said, because if they do manage to get that room inside your box, that they are going to punish you a lot of the times, especially when you come up against these very, very good teams. It is quite difficult to, you know, when you got like Ronaldo or Neymar or Messi, whatever, inside the box, they're probably going to put the ball on target at least, and then it's up to the keeper to save you there, isn't it? So I will be looking at timed finishing soon, and also moving the goalkeepers to see how that can do to try and you know, compensate obviously for the buff that shooting has had. But yeah, that'll be coming in a future video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, then please do let me know by dropping a like. You can also subscribe to the channel, which is greatly appreciated. I want to thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.